Is this the final nail in the coffin for the global financial system? Well, it's hard to say what the final nail will be, but we are seeing one nail after another continue to be put into the coffin of the global financial system. Now, we've seen King Dollar being dethroned, meaning the amount of transactions being done in dollars, the amount of reserves being held in dollars has been dwindling steadily for quite some time. But of course, it's been exaggerated. It's been sped up by the Russia-Ukraine war, specifically because the dollar-backed system, the FX reserve system, decided to seize all of Russia's FX reserves. Now, I'm not saying that was a good or a bad decision, but what it did do is it showed the rest of the world that, shoot, if one of three global superpowers with nuclear weapons could have their bank accounts frozen and seized, what hope do I have? And the answer is, you have none. And so that has only sped up the inevitable. Of course, more sanctions against Russia has forced them to find other ways to do things. Now, let me just say, I'm not pro-Putin, I'm not pro-Russia, but what I am is pro-rational ideas and thought, and it would make sense that if we were trying to punish them, we might try to find things that actually punish them and not the people in the United States and don't destroy the existing order that we have. But of course, we live in a world without consequences where bad policy decisions lead to more bad policy decisions. So let's take a look and see exactly what's going on here. Iran applies to join the BRICS group of emerging countries. So Iran joins the BRICS group. Now, Iran has been a country that the U.S. has been trying to control. We've been trying to control them with sanctions. We've been trying to control them from having nuclear weapons. And the way we've been trying to control them from having nuclear weapons is through sanctions. But we've been sanctioning so many people that they're all leaving to go start their own group. Now, it's kind of like this. So let's say I had a party and like, hey, you're too noisy. I don't like what you're doing. You get out of here. And hey, over here, you're doing something I don't like. Hey, you get out of here. And you're doing something I don't like. You get out of here. And eventually everyone leaves the party and I'm the last one at the party. And now I have no control over anybody there. It's kind of how it works. And that's exactly what's going on. We continue to kick so many people out of the financial system that they've all gone to go start their own financial system. Now, how do we control Iran Iran. Let me get that right. I'm an American, sorry. Forgive me on that. Now, Iran has submitted an application to become a member of the group of emerging economies known as the BRICS. If you don't know what BRICS stands for, it stands for, I have it right here, Brazil, Russia, India, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, BRICS. And this would result in added values for both sides, Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson said. So these countries have formed their own group, their own union, if you will, to work together. We can see here that says that Argentina has also applied to join the group. Argentina's president, Alberto Fernandez, currently in Europe, has in recent days reiterated his desire for Argentina to join the BRICS. While the White House was thinking about what else to turn off in the world, ban, or spoil, Argentina and Iran applied to join the BRICS. So while the United States continues to try to control things through a mindset of scarcity, more and more destruction is being done. So as I've said in other videos, the way to combat Russia would be to increase the supply. That would be to outcompete them. That's typically the way that America was founded and the way America was made great, through competition. We can outcompete, we can out-innovate, but instead we're trying to use a scarcity mindset and control, but that squeezing and control only forces people to go out and find additional ways, which is exactly what's happening. Now we can see Yahoo picked this up as well. I like this. It says that Iran holds the world's second largest gas reserves and has applied to join the BRICS group of Brazil. So what does that mean? Iran holds the second largest gas reserves. Now, who holds the largest? Oh yeah, that'd be Russia. So we have the number one and number two joining together, and it sort of seems like who needs gas, natural gas? Well, Europe needs natural gas. This is what this whole thing is about. Europe has put themselves 100% beholden to Russia for gas because they've decided not to get theirs out of the ground. The Netherlands shut it off. UK doesn't want to get it out. Europe has massive amounts of natural gas in the ground that they could get out if they wanted to. But of course they don't want to because, they're green. So they'd rather just Russia get it out of the ground for them and beg them and plead them for it, which of course Russia is holding over their head. So we have the number, and which then leads to one, crazy high natural gas prices, which leads to crazy high electricity prices because electricity needs natural gas to create. And then that leads to lack of fertilizer. Lack of fertilizer leads to lack of food. And you see where I'm going with this. And so now we have number one and number two gas suppliers joining together to go create their own group of the world. No big deal, right? Is this a small little thing? What we can see here is on top of it, per the Economic Times, the BRICS are working on a new global reserve currency and alternative mechanism for international settlements. He says here, the issue of creating an international reserve currency based on a basket of currencies of our countries is being worked out. Quote, so the dollar is the reserve currency of the world. The dollar is really a payment network. You can send dollars throughout the world using the SWIFT system, the Fedwire system. It's really a payment network. But of course, most of these nations aren't allowed to use it anymore. They're sanctioned. Iran is sanctioned, Russia is sanctioned, etc. So, if they can't use our payment network and financial system, then they're just going to go create their own, which of course is exactly what they're doing. Like I said, all these policies lead to bad things. And these bad things lead to more policies, which only unfortunately lead to more bad things. In a world with no consequences, what you get is a continuing doubling down of bad policies because there's no feedback loop, no feedback mechanism. Of course, it's no small thing. The BRICS population is 3.2 billion, about 50% of the world, about half the world. The G7 population is 777 million. Now, I didn't fact check this. It's probably about accurate. You can correct me in the comments if you want. I didn't fact check that exact number, but I do know the BRICS is about 3.2 billion, about 50%. G7, the United States is 330 million. It's about right. Anyway, let me know what you think. But it's these guys right here. See these guys? These are the smartest guys in the world. These guys right here, your leaders, are the ones that are making these bad policy decisions. These guys right here are the ones that continue to double down. And I'll ask you a question that I ask normally, and I'd like you to leave me a comment down below. Is this just sheer incompetence, or is it being done intentionally and on purpose, which would then probably make it evil? I'd like to know your comment down below. Of course, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to it. Hit that bell notification so you know when they come out. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you like it, and of course, a comment. And that's what I got for today. All right, to your success. I'm out. Since you've stayed to the end, I know you like this video, which means you're probably gonna really like this video right here and this video right here.